It was just after 4:30 a.m. on June 3, 2011. The streets of Bloomington, Indiana were quiet, the final hours of the night when everything feels still, when the world seems half asleep. But somewhere in the silence, a young woman disappeared. She wasn't hiking in the wilderness. She wasn't driving down a deserted highway. She was just walking home, on foot, in the middle of a college town. Lauren Spierer, a 20-year-old Indiana University student, had been out partying with friends. She had gone from one apartment to another, laughed, danced, texted, shared selfies. And then, in a span of minutes, she was gone. No struggle, no scream, no one saw anything. The cameras caught nothing. And 12 years later, no one knows what happened to her. What makes this case so terrifying isn't just that it remains unsolved. It's that everything seemed safe, until it wasn't. She vanished in the middle of civilization, under the eyes of people who knew her. Her name has become a chilling reminder that even the most ordinary nights can end in the extraordinary. This is the story of Lauren Spierer, a young woman swallowed by shadows. And once you hear what happened that night, you'll never walk home the same way again. Lauren was the kind of girl you couldn't ignore in a room. Petite at just under 5 feet tall, she had bright blonde hair, a beaming smile, and a magnetic personality that drew people in. She was from Scarsdale, New York, and came to Indiana University to study fashion merchandising. A typical college student. Fun, spirited, ambitious. Her life was unfolding as planned. June 2nd, 2011, was the beginning of what should have been a fun summer night. Lauren had just finished her sophomore year and was staying in Bloomington for the summer. That evening, she went out with friends to Kilroy's Sports Bar, a popular campus hotspot. Surveillance footage captured her entering the bar barefoot, having left her shoes and phone at the entrance, as many students did when walking in from the adjacent beach area. At around 2:30 a.m., Lauren left the bar with a friend named Corey Rossman. At this point, she was clearly intoxicated, so much so that she struggled to walk on her own. Video footage shows Rossman helping her through an alleyway as they headed toward his apartment at Smallwood Plaza, just a few blocks away. This is where the timeline starts to unravel. At some point between 2:30 and 4:30 a.m., Lauren was at 3 different apartment locations, with 3 different male students, including Rossman and his roommate. What happened inside those apartments remains unclear. Reports indicate that she consumed more alcohol, possibly mixed with prescription drugs, and at least one of the men admitted to seeing her severely impaired. But here's the unsettling part. Each one of those men claims they weren't with her when she disappeared. According to their versions of events, she left alone, on foot, barefoot, in shorts and a white top, sometime around 4:30 a.m., heading back toward her own apartment. No one saw her after that. No neighbors, no passing cars, not even a camera. In a town with streetlights, sidewalks, and student patrols, Lauren simply vanished. The police response was swift. Lauren's parents, Charlene and Robert Spierer, flew in from New York the same day. A massive search effort was launched. Helicopters scanned the fields. Divers scoured nearby lakes. Volunteers posted flyers on every lamppost in Bloomington. For days, it was all anyone could talk about. But leads were scarce. There were no confirmed sightings of Lauren after she left that final apartment. No phone activity, no credit card usage, not a single ping. It was as if someone had erased her from the map. Soon, suspicion began to turn toward the young men who had been with her that night. Why did no one walk her home? Why did their stories all conveniently align, but with minor inconsistencies? Why was it that one of them, Corey Rossman, claimed to have lost his memory of the evening after allegedly being punched by another student? That punch, oddly convenient, became a strange detail in the story. Rossman said he couldn't remember anything past 2:30 a.m. due to a head injury. But police weren't so sure. His roommate, Mike Beth, had last seen Lauren leaving their apartment alone at 4:30 a.m. She was stumbling, disoriented, and clearly not in a condition to walk safely alone. Yet no one followed her. No one called a cab. No one walked her home. That alone raised eyebrows. But it gets darker. As the investigation continued, a rumor emerged. Lauren had been using drugs the night she disappeared. Some reports suggested cocaine, Klonopin, or even a dangerous mix of alcohol and other substances. Police began to wonder, were the young men protecting themselves? Were they afraid that if they admitted what really happened, they'd be charged with furnishing drugs, or worse? There was another disturbing possibility. What if something happened inside one of those apartments? An overdose, a panic, a cover-up. What if Lauren never made it out alive? Could someone have disposed of her body using the critical hours between dawn and daybreak? Even now, police have never named any of the men as suspects, but the Spierer family has openly questioned their honesty. In a heartbreaking statement, Lauren's father once said, "I believe these boys know more than they are telling." In the years that followed, the case grew colder, but it never disappeared. Anonymous tips came in, some bizarre, some credible. One claimed Lauren's body was buried in a field near Bloomington. Another said she had been trafficked out of state. Yet another described a farmhouse where screams were heard the night she vanished. None of the tips led to any discovery. Then came the revelations that shook the town. A man named Jesse Wolfe, Lauren's boyfriend at the time, had not been with her that night. He was reportedly upset with her partying and drug use. Some wondered, was there jealousy involved? Was there a confrontation? But Jesse passed a polygraph and was cleared by police. He remained cooperative throughout the investigation. Others pointed to possible links between Lauren's disappearance and a series of similar missing persons cases in the Midwest. Young women, college towns, vanishing without a trace. Was there a predator operating under the radar? A serial killer? One case, in particular, mirrored Lauren's. Hannah Wilson, another IU student, was found murdered just 4 years later. Her body was discovered in a rural field, and a man named Daniel Messel was arrested after his cell phone was found at the scene. Messel had a violent history, and for a brief moment, hope sparked. Could he have been involved in Lauren's case too? But DNA comparisons revealed no match. Police found no evidence linking him to Lauren, and the trail went cold again. Lauren's disappearance sparked a national conversation about college safety. Why are young women still expected to walk home alone at night? Why did no one help her? Was it fear, apathy, or something darker? Her parents have never given up. They've launched websites, billboards, and public appeals. They've offered $250,000 in rewards. They've pushed police to re-examine every tip. But the longer the case remains unsolved, the heavier the silence becomes. There is no happy ending here. No closure, no answers, only a photograph of a smiling girl frozen in time, and a lingering question. What really happened between 2:30 and 4:30 a.m. on that summer night in Bloomington? Did Lauren walk into the arms of a stranger? Did someone inside those apartments panic and hide the truth? Or did something completely unexpected unfold? Something so horrifying that those involved have chosen to take it to their graves. There are rumors, whispers, stories that never made it into police files. Some claim that Lauren was buried in a concrete slab. Others believe she was trafficked and lives under a new identity. Still others think the answer lies among her own friends, hidden under layers of denial and fear. But none of it brings her back. Lauren's mother once said, "There is no worse pain than not knowing." And that pain, raw, unending, hangs over this case like a storm cloud that never lifts. If you walk the streets of Bloomington today, you'll still see flyers bearing her face, still hear her name spoken in dorms and bars, still feel the echo of a night that should have been ordinary, but became something else entirely. Lauren Spierer didn't vanish into thin air. Someone, somewhere, knows what happened. And until that person speaks, we're left only with shadows, because in the heart of a bustling college town, beneath the glow of streetlights, a girl vanished. And the silence that followed is more deafening than any scream.